there is only one ending to Deltarune. This is one of the first things Toby Fox told us about Deltarune upon its surprise release in 2018. In an inversion of Undertale's metatextual emphasis on the importance of the player's choices, the game throws away the vessel you create at the start of the game with the mysterious voice. Deltarune explicitly tells you that your choices do not matter. Up until the autumn of 2021, the fandom almost unanimously assumed that this inversion also implied only one route. After all, your choices don't matter, right? Wouldn't another route spoil the whole one ending thing? Turns out, no! When the weird route, colloquially named the snowgrave route by fans, was discovered by Toby's army of loyal data miners, the whole fanbase was thrown for a loop. Why did this route exist? Wasn't this a fundamental contradiction of the storyline that we'd all assumed to be linear? And why were the steps to get there so strange and out of the way? Well, for as much as this statement is thrown around, Toby Fox is Toby Fox. While he may not be some malevolent trickster god like some RV Pine fans or Friend Inside Me truthers seem to believe, as a game developer, he is fundamentally associated with the concept of meta-narrative subversion. Even all the way back in the Earthbound Halloween hack days, he was toying with players' expectations. The man is more than a mere trickster. He's an artist that operates on multiple dimensions and mediums of storytelling, including music, visuals, and writing, in order to create refreshing and irreplaceably unique narratives. And Deltarune, a game whose concept predates Undertale and is often touted to be Toby's long-planned magnum opus, is no different. But enough with the glazing. I'm going to get into the actual theory in a moment, but there are a few prerequisite theories that have all been but confirmed by Toby himself, and that this theory relies on. I'm not going to explain them here, there are probably much better videos doing so, also in longer form, but all you need to really have established is Chris and the player are two separate entities, and the player is controlling Chris through the soul. Spamton and Jevil have been affected by some unseen force that has made them go moderately to severely insane. Spamton and Jevil are aware of Chris and the player's situation, and can actively differentiate between the two at will. With that out of the way, what actually makes Deltarune's weird route so significant? And how does all of this play into the supposedly predetermined ending of Deltarune?
To answer that, we need to talk about
Spamton!
Spamton G. Spamton. The internet's favorite puppet, and just one of many characters to wear glasses, be obsessed with greed and wealth, and be classified as a Tumblr sexy man. But that's not why we're bringing him along for this theorizing joyride. He has a defining trait that acts as the linchpin of this theory, the keyhole to open the door of truth, so to say. That is, being the most important two words in this franchise since Papyrus Dabs. Of course, I'm talking about the omnipresent Hyperlink blocked. What this oft-repeated phrase could mean has stumped the fandom since its release, but we do know a few things about it contextually. It relates to Spamton's Neo form, it's something that seems to be very important to Spamton despite its true nature being fundamentally blocked on some level, and, most importantly, according to Spamton, Chris and Noelle are supposedly making it on the weird route. While that last little detail may seem like more of Spamton's classic brain-rotted email scam speak, it actually reveals a fundamental clue to solving the true nature of Hyperlink Blocked. We've established the keyhole. Now, as Foxy.exe famously said in FNAF World, it's time to find the key. So, what actually is Hyperlink Blocked? Well, Spamton tries to sell Chris on it as a method of cutting his own strings, so to speak. He recognizes that Chris, much like himself, is trapped and being controlled. He offers to free them of that. And yet, he recognizes that he himself is not truly free yet either. He wants more Hyperlink Blocked, perhaps even more than he wants to offer it to Chris. Apparently, whatever Hyperlink Blocked is, enough of it together has the power to free you from whatever's controlling and trapping you. You can be a big shot, no longer just a marionette on strings. So, we're talking about an unseen yet intractably desirable and powerful force that has the power to free a being from whatever's controlling it, even something as powerful as a human soul. It's LV. Hyperlink Blocked is LV. Don't believe me? You will. First, take a look at Kara. On the genocide route, the more and more love you gain, the more the story diverges into absolute oblivion. And at level 20, the maximum level possible, you, the player, lose control of the game entirely. Asgore and Flowey are killed entirely without your input, and, of course, it then cuts to Kara. Kara has been with you the entire time and has had access to your soul, and thus, with all that LV under their belt, they no longer need your input. They're powerful enough on their own to split off from you, take control of the game, and literally destroy the universe they were created in. They cut their strings. All of them. After all, now that Kara has that much love, who said you were the one in control? That freedom, the desire to cut the strings of the path you were designed for and to gain absolute control, is something that is shared by both Chris and the secret bosses. While Chris wants to be freed from the control of the soul, Jevil and Spamton both gain some level of awareness of their world's true nature, and they want it out. They saw through the veil and decided they wanted their freedom at all costs. Need more proof? Well, have you ever stopped to consider why the secret bosses actually fight you in the first place? After all, in unlocking Jevil's cage and giving Spamton his Neo body respectively, you've supposedly granted them both a sense of freedom. They should be thanking you, not killing you, right? After all, this isn't a kill-or-be-killed world like Undertale, right? Turns out, once you actually start to look at it, their true intentions begin to shine through very clearly. They both want real freedom. Jevil wants to be able to truly do anything. Spamton wants to rise above the crowds and touch heaven. In other words, they want LV. They want to be able to do what Kara did. And what's a better way to do that than by killing the whole party and taking Chris's soul? And this, my friends, is where the Weird Route comes into play. In the Weird Route, with the oddly enthusiastic help of Spamton, Chris / the player influences Noelle to begin killing the inhabitants of Cyber City. Not just attacking them, killing them. They stay permanently frozen on the overworld screen, even outside of battle. And every time an enemy is frozen by Noelle, a mysterious jingle plays. Almost like the jingle that plays when you gain LV in Undertale. And what does Noelle refer to all this killing as? Getting stronger. She's grinding. Much like in the genocide route, she's gaining levels and slowly becoming more and more detached from violence. Just like Sans said, the influx of LV would do to you. The less you hurt, the more you can bring yourself to hurt others. And there's no greater example of this detachment than when Noelle fails to recognize Berdly, her lifelong friend, as anything but just another enemy to freeze. Now, we've established that Noelle is gaining LV, and becoming slowly detached from reality, allowing herself to be the blunt instrument of Chris / the player's will. However, how does this play into the Hyperlink blocked connection from earlier? Well, as most of you probably know, in the Weird Route, after Queen flees the castle and Noelle temporarily leaves the party, Spamton takes over. And, as Chris is about to seal the Dark Fountain, Spamton Neo returns for his final attempt at getting Chris's soul. And of course, in the middle of battle, what does he say?
No, I get it. It's you and that hoochie mama. You've been making, haven't you? You've been making Hyperlink blocked. I should have known you would have used my ring for evil. Oh, right, that's why I sold it to you. You think making frozen chicken with your side chick is gonna let you drink up that sweet, sweet freedom sauce? Well, you're shuckin' right, but don't blame me.
Holy shit. What all of this means for the future of Deltarune, I don't fully know. But I do know what the Weird Route really is. It's not some one-off Easter egg in the game, never to be elaborated on. It's Chris, or the player, or both, forcibly breaking out of Deltarune's constraints using the power of LV. And, given that Noelle is almost definitely the angel, as well as the existence of the currently unobtainable Twisted Sword item, made using Noelle's Thorn Ring, I sincerely doubt that this chapter will be the end of the Weird Route's ramifications on the overall story. If you enjoyed this theory, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Genuinely, I don't get monetized for this stuff, and don't particularly want to either. It's a hobby, and a like just shows that you want more Undertale or Deltarune analysis content, or that you just enjoyed this video that I wrote in 3 hours on my notes app. Also, leave a comment if you would like to add to the theory, or suggest something for me to do next, or if you just think I overlooked any important details in the video. Thanks for watching, and if you're still here, I'd just like to let you know that Steven Spielberg vs. Alfred Hitchcock is the best epic rap battle of history. If you disagree, fight me.